Now, related to perfection, if what's holding you back is the fear of not feeling good enough, what you can do is use an if-then scenario and force yourself to stack certain habits or stack an action to your timetable, to your calendar, to your daily plan. Like if then, as an example, could be if it's 7 a.m. Oh, sorry, 7 a.m., 7 p.m., whatever. If it's 7 p.m., I open my laptop and I write, I think Rick was talking about star stories. I write the situation line for one of the star stories. Like I may not be able to, I may not feel good enough to write a whole great story. I set a task for myself at 7 p.m. Let me write just the situation part, just that one paragraph. And if you do that several days in a row, you're collecting proof for yourself and you're collecting some wins that you should be writing down. And these are not negligible wins. Any progress is great. As you're collecting proof, after a few days, you'll see, well, if I'm not good enough, how come I have all of this done, right? Now I can take on bigger chunks of this and bigger challenges. Next thing we talked about are external factors such as distraction or energy. Well, distractions can be a lot of things. It can be your environment, it can be your phone. So that's pretty simple. Put a phone in another room, use site blocking apps. You can remove any environmental distractions. You can talk to people that might be distracting you as well to honor the time you want to set aside for studying. If your energy is low, which a lot of our students work, they do this before work, after work, they have families, it's understandable. This is a very powerful thing for me, regardless of the reason for procrastination. For me, it's the most powerful, the 2-minute rule. You just tell yourself, I'm just going to do it for 2 minutes. And if I do 2 minutes, that's amazing. I don't have to do any longer. It doesn't matter. I can get up and stop after 2 minutes because 2 minutes you can do and endure anything for that amount of time. And it's highly unlikely that you're going to stop. And it's usually enough to get you focused and involved with whatever you're doing to overcome that first feeling of friction and resistance. And then you're just doing it without even realizing. And half an hour, 2 hours have gone by and you've made actual progress. But this is the thing that people, especially who are tired or have busy schedules, if they tell themselves, I need to do this for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, or there's no point, right? Those people, what they tend to do is, oh, I'll just do 6 hours this Saturday, 7 hours on a Sunday. But the thing is, you usually don't do that. And even if you try, that's quite a lot of time for studying and for staying focused, and that's what's going to exhaust you. So these people keep pushing it to the weekend, pushing it to a time when they think they're going to be less busy, less tired, and week after week, a lack of progress piles up, and before a few months have gone by and you haven't done much. So the 2-minute rule, super simple, super powerful. And those are some of the things that you can implement depending on why you think your procrastination is showing up. I know we don't have visuals here, but I'm gonna include them in the recording once it's uploaded. One big misconception that I wanna leave you with, guys, here is that we think we need motivation to lead us to action, right? We need to feel like we want to do something in order to do that, but that only really works for things we enjoy doing, things we feel good about doing, things we feel super competent in. That's how it works, motivation to action. But it really works the opposite way when we're faced with a challenge. So any amount actual action will lead to motivation. And it's a positive feedback loop. You don't have to feel like it, but you will eventually feel like it. And if you just push for a few minutes past that, what seems like insurmountable friction, you will get into it and start to feel better and better about that. But the thing is, we always forget how it's not that difficult to get to motivation as long as we just decide to push that through that initial resistance. So I'll leave you with that as well as with some visuals. We touched on a lack of self-belief today, and last week we didn't have that many people joining, but last week the topic was tackling imposter syndrome. So if that's something you relate to, you can watch that recording. Previously, we also discussed motivation, how to reignite that, and also self-sabotaging thought patterns. So that's what's been covered so far in these sessions, and there's much more to come. But before we wrap up, I want to ask you guys, do you have any questions? Do you have any takeaways from this? Have I put you to sleep?
No, Milada, thank you. I've been sitting there listening intently, and thank you. And Johanna, I'm sorry about your loss as well. That could be very hard. And I just hope everything works out well for you. And everybody, I've just been listening, and thank you for giving us that mindset because you hit it on the head. I procrastinate so well, but I'm determined. And one of our coaches, I think it was Stephen, said, "We're not going to give up on you. So you could just let that go, right?" So
Yeah.
I've been holding on to threads of a semblance of hope, right? But I love data engineering, the idea of it and data as a whole. And I just love everything. I love just listening to some of the senior level people like yourself and Tyler, everybody, even the students, because I never knew this was such a wide field. So
That's
I really wanted
really
to do robotics, but I learned that robotics is it's gonna transcend over into data somewhere, right? So thank you for the mindset and
It's our pleasure, definitely, and that's really reassuring to hear. Yes, Everett is referring to something Stefan said, which is even if you give up on yourselves, we're not giving up on you, which is true. And the purpose behind these mindset sessions, like one sentence nutshell would be, our brains are in different ways trying to protect us, but end up sabotaging us. And these sessions are meant to educate on that, to first recognize when that happens, how it happens, why it happens, and of course, what to do about that to live a more productive and stress-free life.
I got you, and you're correct. And I'm just gonna keep those things in mind, and I'm gonna continue my course.
Oh,
Thank you.
that's great to hear. Did anyone else want to share something?
I forgot what I was going to say.
We'll come back to you. Jim?
Hi, Milada. I
Oh,
wanted
I'm
to say
right.
something about,
Yes.
I was just always wondering. So I know that this mindset coaching basically helps to keep up our zeal to complete everything. But also I was wondering, like, because mindset and like there was another topic was like behavior questions that was also tied with the similar thing, like there was another class with behavioral questions and everything. So going forward, can we also dedicate a good percentage of time preparing ourselves with the behavioral questions that we are gonna face very soon in our interview? What I'm feeling that is lacking behind, because apart from setting up whatever the behavioral questions that I have written up or that was I supposed to prepare, and sometimes I read it, but apart from that, I don't have any other options to do the mock testing or at least to know that what are the.
Sorry to interrupt you, but first of all, hopefully that document has been reviewed. You've asked for review and
Yes,
gotten it.
yes.
And secondly, you can definitely have a behavioral question mock interview.
Yeah,
But to
that's like before I go to even sometime. But the thing is, like the way we are actually, I'm sorry, actually, I conveyed this message differently. The reason I'm saying it, because we are preparing we do have a lot of topics like SQL, Python, Snowflakes,
Yep.
a lot of topics. So concurrently, we are preparing for everything. So behavioral questions or mind setting, that is, we need to keep in our mind or for
I know
our.
what you mean. We can dedicate some sessions to that. We had that as a separate session. It wasn't part of the mindset session. It was also done Payal. She used to do both mindset and a separate session for behavioral questions. We cover behavioral questions in group coaching Thursdays. It was today. There's a session called Q&A all subjects, and when you join
Today there
it,
was not. Today I didn't. I still joined. Today it was SQL, Python.
oh, I think the
And
coach might have been out of office. Sorry, but there are typically
so
breakout
basically
rooms
the thing
based
is,
on
the
topics.
problem is like you are saying, like in all question sessions. So this is, I believe, today even I wanted to join that one.
Yep.
So even last couple of weeks actually, I tried to actually at least join those sessions, but very few times I have seen that behavioral questions related sessions where they are in that all questions program. If you see that, like it's not that regular like other topics.